In Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, Tatsuya's scenario is a 3-act prequel to kind of midquel later on that details the events both before and during the events of Eternal Punishment, all from Tatsuya Suo's perspective. And you probably missed out on this prequel or midquel experience because, number one, in order to fully unlock this thing in the first place, you have to choose the correct dialogue option when talking to Igor midway through the game to unlock Acts 2 and 3 of Tatsuya's scenario. And the second reason might be because Persona 2 Eternal Punishment is one of the more obscure Persona games. And if you'd rather experience the 3-part bonus scenario and Persona 2 Eternal Punishment by playing them on your own, then please don't watch this video because there's gonna be spoilers. Like literally right now, there's about to be a spoiler. Oh lord, here it comes. After defeating Ulala in gold during the main story of Eternal Punishment, you're then able to speak with Igor in the Velvet Room after sealing the Joker persona away. Igor will tell you that it looks like you're packing around somebody's memory shard, and the memory shard actually belongs to one Tatsuya Suo. Igor notes that Tatsuya appears to know quite a few things that Maya and the gang don't, and state that they can learn them by taking a peek at the memory shard. But Igor tells them they're not allowed to look too much, okay? You can look but don't touch here, alright? Because there's some stuff in there that you're not ready to know quite yet. Oh, what's this little nugget I just found in the old memory shard? Let's take a look here. Looks like a recipe for Katsuya's Fluffalicious Meow Meow Kitty Souffle Pancakes. Huh. What's that, Katsuya? Oh, you haven't posted this to your Pinterest yet? And I just fucking leaked it? Oh my god, dude. Now that we've banished Ulala's Joker demons and accidentally leaked one of Katsuya's Pinterest recipes, you can now talk to Igor and select additional scenario, which will then reveal the first act of Tatsuya's scenario, known as Lone Shadow, Part 1. The act opens with a lady welcoming Tatsuya into a room he's going to be staying in for the time being. The lady remarks that although she's pleased to have upgraded to a larger home from her previous place, it's a bit large for someone like her living alone, which is why she thinks it's fortunate that Tatsuya is going to be staying there as well. The lady continues to hash out the details of Tatsuya's living arrangements while Tatsuya stands off in the corner with his back to her, staring out the window like he's Shadow the damn Hedgehog about to flip off a building and aim a gun at the camera. Bro looks like Meant to Live by Switchfoot is the #1 song on his Spotify rap for this year, followed by Diamond Eyes by Deftones, then followed by I'm Just Ken from the Barbie soundtrack. The lady regards Tatsuya's Shadow the Hedgehog demeanor and thinks he looks lonely, solitary, and thinks to herself that she won't allow him to live life so cut off because she's put her own life on hold for 10 years up to this point, alluding to the fact that this lady is also actually in on the story herself in a major way. Confirmed by her next thoughts, which reveal that this woman herself is going to be as involved in this story as Tatsuya himself. This woman also fucking monologues so damn much. And you know what? Monologuing, actually, I think is great. Exceptional content, really, if you think about it. Especially ones that last however long down below this video ends up being. Yeah, those ones, really, really good, I'm hearing. We were then taken to Club Zodiac 13 hours earlier that same day, where we see our mystery lady speaking with Anna, a student, or rather a dropout from Seven Sisters High from the previous game. We then learned that our mysterious lady is actually Shiori Miyashiro, a police detective on the Kunan Juvenile Division. Learning Shiori's identity, Anna tells her that she just stopped by the club to use the bathroom. We're just gonna take a quick wee-wee. Definitely didn't have like 5 shots of vodka on the way. Shiori, though, catches Anna as she's about to leave and tells her that she's not here to arrest her, just ask a few questions. She asks if Anna knows an individual named Daisuke Kaneda, which was actually the guy who did a hit and run on Anna, who ended her high school track and field career, but then directly after he got out on bail, he was mysteriously killed. Anna knows where this line of questioning is about the head, and she asks Shiori what the time of death was. Shiori knows Anna will have an alibi, but as a police detective in the city of Sumeru, she knows that these days in the city, it's possible to kill a man without even laying a finger on him. But Shiori doesn't give a darn heck about her alibi. She's more concerned about the finer things in life, which is whether or not Anna's seen this. And she holds out like a little message card that has white letters on it saying, "You're next." And Anna asks what we're all thinking here, which is, what the hell is this, man? Shiori tells her that it's a calling card from the bizarre murderer of rumor named Joker, who you can hire to kill someone for the low price of calling him from your own phone number. Shiori then asks if Anna's perhaps heard of the guy. Anna connects the dots and asks if Shiori believes that she's the one who ordered the hit on Kaneda. But Anna remarks that if she'd wanted him dead, she would have just done it herself. Okay, squirrel boss. Anna's about to hand Joker's calling card back to Shiori when she noticed something and makes a little face at it. Shiori, realizing why Anna's made the face, finishes her thought for her, stating that, yeah, actually the address on the card is in fact Shiori's own address. Shiori then reveals to Anna that she was the one who actually called Joker on herself to assassinate her, which is some Mr. Beast ass, I hired a hitman from the dark web to come kill me. Shiori's content pill, like, can't believe those fucking YouTubers have been biting Shiori's for all these years, goddamn. But Shiori, other than just being content pilled, is really just trying to investigate the Joker rumor. And she wants to do it firsthand. She wants to go Beifong outside the law to see this. And she is taking action. She said this fucking rumor isn't real until he shows up at my house and tries to kill me. To paraphrase Shiori's assessment over like 50 monologue paragraphs, Shiori thinks that Anna is in fact innocent, but she just wanted to check in with her because she was nervous about meeting Joker herself and testing the rumor. Shiori then speaks with Club Zodiac staff member and asks to rent a VIP room out for the night. After a bit of pushback from the staff, they eventually do let Shiori in, mostly because they had no choice in the matter, and they promise to let her know if someone else tries to enter the VIP room. Shiori also reveals that she knows Detective Katsuya Suo, Tatsuya's brother, very well. Shiori does reveal though that she's investigating these Joker rumors on her own though, and she's Beifong outside the law in the Joker case, while Katsuya is actually the one assigned to it for the time being. Shiori tells Anna that she has chosen to rent the room and ride out the night at the club so she can know if anyone enters her VIP suite that it has to be Joker. Shiori here is basically playing a church lock-in with a mythical, maybe real, maybe not real serial killer, which kind of goes hard. Gotta give it to her. That's very Beifong outside the law of her. Hope she doesn't lose her goddamn though. Sheesh. Is that a spoiler? Shiori then locks herself into the VIP room and begins waiting for Joker. What she finds inside though is a Chinese style hallway, giving the appearance that maybe the rumors that the Taiwanese mafia buying out the Zodiac Club were true. Shiori then calls her own number, and Among Us self-reports that she's in the VIP hallways of Club Zodiac. Meanwhile, in Tatsuya Town, we're taken to the moment at the very end of Persona 2 Innocent Sin where Tatsuya accidentally bumps into Maya and realizes that he has all his memories from the other world, the doomed world. Maya rocks. She's a cool cat. Love her to death. She's got heart patches over her boobies. Can't go wrong there. She's a hero. A war veteran. After they bump into each other, Maya then goes to help Tatsuya up and is all goddamn Disney princess Asami Sato with it. She's all, oh silly me, I'm such a klutz, I'm so clumsy, I'm such a silly goof. Do I know you? And do you, by chance, perhaps know the Avatar? Maya realizes that she actually knows Tatsuya from her childhood growing up and remembers that she made a promise alongside her friend June to protect Tatsuya's smile. Tatsuya, though, reacts to this internally. He keeps it all up in here because he notices that everyone around him, all his friends in this world, are living their lives happily without him and without their memories of the other world. And if he intervenes, he may just ruin their lives in this world as well. But a voice calls out to him in that moment and tells him that yeah, he can run away and hide. That much is true, but much worse things will happen in this world if he doesn't intervene, if he doesn't face it. The voice then ominously and spookily says that he'll be waiting and then brands Tatsuya with this cool little ghosty tattoo. The mark of a sinner possessed by darkness. But like, why is it kind of cute? I don't know. Tatsuya realizes in this moment that he can't run or hide from his true self. And at this point, Tatsuya steals himself and has one of the cooler Persona awakenings in the earlier Persona games. He then makes a contract with his persona Apollo to protect Maya and protect his friends. He then gets a call from Anna, who he knows hangs out with the him in this world, but he's cautious because he knows he can't answer how the him in this world would normally answer. Anna keeps calling and Tatsuya eventually gives up and answers. Anna asks if he's hurt and Tatsuya Tatsuya replies that he isn't and realizes that she's been waiting for him all night at Club Zodiac. Anna tells Tatsuya about her encounter with Shiori and asks about Katsuya, who she knows is also a cop. Tatsuya is a bit culture shocked to hear Anna talking about Joker, especially knowing the whole Lady Scorpio stuff. Tatsuya then tells her to get out of there cause he's headed in. Joker, prepare yourself, big guy, cause daddy's home. Racing in. Here he comes, Shadow the Hedgehog. Tatsuya arrives at Club Zodiac and immediately tries to head to the VIP floor with Shiori. The staff push back at first, but eventually he gets the key from Nakamura. However, Nakamura then mentions to Tatsuya that there is a deeper door that he doesn't have the key for. Tatsuya disregards this and goes back behind the counter, picking up a wooden sword. And Tatsuya knew it was there because his other self knew it was there. Tatsuya is doing some major Matrix, Robert Pattinson in Tenet right now. Next thing you know, this guy's gonna be driving cars backwards and flying up buildings. To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face. Don't try to understand it. Feel it. Watch Tenet if you haven't. Good movie. Good movie. I watched it on a plane. And it was fun. Nakamura is then like, Tatsuya, you wouldn't secretly be Joker. And Tatsuya is like, please, dear God, for the love of all that is holy, cut that shit out. You don't understand the power that rumors have. Please, we don't want that shit circulating. Do not get that started. Anna then notices that something's up and stops Tatsuya, asking if Tatsuya is the real Tatsuya. And Tatsuya is like, but of course that I am the real Tatsuya. Don't do anything weird like taking out my shirt though, because that will reveal scars on my back left by an insane serial killer guy who burned down a shrine and tried to stab me to death when I was 10 years old. So don't do that. Tatsuya then takes that opportunity to note that the difference in their worlds is the events that took place at Alea's shrine in Innocent Sin didn't happen, but those worlds are soon coming closer and closer together, and the him from the other world is closing in on the him that is in this world. Tatsuya reassures Anna that he won't let Joker kill the detective, tells her to stay away from him while he atones for his innocent sin, and then heads into the VIP area. I don't know about Anna, alright, but if one of my friends was like, stay away from me, I gotta atone for my innocent sin, I would be a little concerned. Maybe I would like ask for a couple more details. What do you mean by this? Are you from another dimension? What's your favorite song on the Shadow the Hedgehog OST? Inside, Tatsuya is immediately faced by two demons, and Tatsuya whomps them with his persona Apollo, and he heads further inside. One thing to note about the battles in this experience, the Tatsuya scenario, a lot of the battles that you do are pretty unique for the Persona series because you're battling by yourself. Usually in the game, you're rocking with a couple party members. In this scenario, a lot of the combat is mano-a-mano. Tatsuya versus the world, so it is naturally a little bit more challenging than some of the fights in the regular game. As Tatsuya faces down another demon, he mentions that personas in this world have an effect on the physical and mental attributes of persona users and even influence the development of their personality, which is a pretty cool insight into how personas worked in the earlier games and explains how persona users are able to instantly become proficient in weapons like swords. And Apollo's influence certainly contributes to Tatsuya's skill in this way. Further in, Shiori is having a dream that she's had many times and attributes it to researching Joker because she's having the old Philemon butterfly dream. We also learn that she knows Joker is Tatsuya's pseudo and that he brutally murdered her little brother, and that was pretty much her main reason for joining the police force. Kind of, sorta similar to like our great, not British baker, Katsuya. Shiori then whips out her 6-shooter and opens the door preparing for a fight. She enters the dark room and demands that Joker put down his weapon. Shiori notes at this point, and I kid you not here, folks, that she really wish she had a hot green tea. Imagine facing the man who brutally murdered your little brother and only wanting a green tea about it. Persona 1 and 2 characters are just built differently, simply. Shiori then gets who she thinks is Joker to put down his weapon and goes on a 40-paragraph monologue that basically amounts to her just wishing she could do a little bit of police brutality and take Joker out once and for all. But then she thinks of her brother, tears up a little bit, to which Joker's like, you got me in the cross arm bar over here and you're You're crying? The person Shiori's arresting, who we can probably infer at this point is definitely not actually Joker, then tells her that the weapon was just a wooden sword, and then we realize alongside Shiori that perhaps this shadowy figure was Tatsuya Suo this whole time, not Tatsuya Sudo. Tatsuya tells her she can check his license if she's unsure he is who he says he is, and she noticed that sometimes he talks about himself as if he isn't himself. Shiori notices that based on the address, he definitely is the son of Detective Suo and Katsuya Suo's brother. Tatsuya is surprised though that she knows his father, and she questions how he knew she'd be here. How he knew she'd be here. Tatsuya reassures her that he doesn't have any ties to Joker and that Anna warned him that she was here and he had called Joker to assassinate herself. Then suddenly a knife is thrown where Shiori was standing, and with all the strength of redneck Edward Cullen, Tatsuya pulls her away at exactly the right moment. That the Nicholas of Ticholas, some might argue. Whoever this mysterious knife thrower man is, and I have a few hunches about who it might be. His dialogue is written like he's a mafia henchman. Tatsuya, I was sitting here, about 5 beers deep, thinking about how to axe that broad, when I realized they didn't have any damn cannolis in this joint. Ain't that a shame? Kind of a yummy snack, Tatsuya, I'm not gonna lie. Turns out, Tatsuya Sudo is actually from Boston, and he's been in the room with Shiori this entire time figuring out how he's gonna kill her. Tatsuya and Shiori then face down Tatsuya Vincenzo Sudo, who is wielding a sword, man-spreading at the club in a hospital gown. Sudo then reveals to them that he's aware of the other side as well, and that he's just June's stand-in as Joker. He then tells Tatsuya that Shiori's younger brother, Takuya, is Tatsuya's stand-in in this world, meaning he was murdered in place of Sudo's attack on Tatsuya. Tatsuya Sudo then gets a phone call, presumably from Tony Soprano, and it's because someone, maybe Tony Soprano, has asked him to kill Maya Amano. Holy shit. No sooner than that's come out of Sudo's mouth, Tatsuya whips his persona Apollo out and attacks Sudo. Tatsuya tells him that if he lays a hand on Miss Maya, he'll find him and he'll kill him in every world, which kind of rocks. Tatsuya, if that's your girl, then why is Tatsuya defending her honor in the Google Doc? Why is he defending her to the death in every universe, you know? Somebody said that to my lady, I'd beat him up, because it's my job to defend her in the Google Doc. Then Tatsuya Vincenzo Sudo hits him with the old, it's all your fault, and the dark god destroyed the earth, and some crazy ass history teacher stabbed your friend to death with the spear from Evangelion. Gets him every time. The two duke it out in Club Zodiac, but Tatsuya isn't able to finish him off before he teleports away. And if Tatsuya Sudo couldn't get any more Shadow the Hedgehog core, the smoke from using his persona sets off the sprinklers, to which Tatsuya just stands there and lets the rain fall down and wake his dreams. Lets it wash away his sanity, because he wants to feel the thunder and he wants to scream. Come Clean by Hilary Duff was actually his 4th most listened to song on his Spotify Wrapped. So, Tatsuya and Shiori get demolished, soaked by the sprinklers, and Tatsuya picks up the sword Sudo left behind, solemnly asking Shiori what her brother's name was. Shiori tells him his name was Takuya, and that 10 years ago on the grounds of the shrine, she found Sudo just after he had murdered her little brother and dismembered him. Tatsuya then makes a sad face that Shiori compares to a golden retriever. Hey, don't get any ideas, okay? It's just like that one tweet I read the other day. Tatsuya, hey, he's not your golden retriever boyfriend unless you're willing to put him down Old Yeller style in the backyard. The fact that Old Yeller was a Labrador notwithstanding. Hey, how's it going? It's voiceover Courtney here. Video Courtney recorded this at like 6 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day and was hopped up on Wolverine candy cigarettes or something. What she meant to say here was that Old Yeller is portrayed as a lab in the movie, but is technically a Lacey dog, the state dog of Texas in the book. Not to be confused with a golden retriever or a Labrador. So that's what she meant to say. Sorry, just want to clarify. Onto the rabies tier list. Okay, imagine though, a Persona 2 character tier list, but I just ranked them on whether or not they'd be willing to put a bullet in Tatsuya's head if he had rabies. Tatsuya Pseudo is obviously S tier because he would do it even if Tatsuya didn't have rabies. Akichi and Lisa are definitely bringing it up the bottom there, F tier. They would cry, and then Akichi's eyeliner would like get everywhere, and he's like, but he's my bro, he's my best friend, I don't even care that he has rabies, he can bite me a little if he wants to, I don't even care. Yeah, Akichi and Lisa would be a goddamn mess. Baofu and Maya would turn it sideways and just, sorry to you. You were a good friend, you've gotten the rabies. Unfortunately, this is how it ends. Shiori tells Tatsuya that his father had promised to track down Joker, but he was framed for bribery and discharged from the force before he could do so. And as we know from the plot of Eternal Punishment, Tatsuya's dad took the fall to protect his and his best friend who sold him out's families. From there, the scene fades and we have to progress further through the plot of Eternal Punishment before we're able to unlock Act 2. Act 2 of Tatsuya's scenario is known as Lone Shadow Part 2, and we're immediately taken to Alba Park where Shiori is questioning a security guard. She shares everything Tatsuya told her about this side versus the other side with the security guard, who turns out is Tatsuya's dad. Everyone's fucking dad is alive in this universe. Hot damn. What a culture shock, man. This is like going from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where everyone's dad is either dead, evil, or Mark Hamill, or all three in Zuko's case, to Legend of Korra, where every other character is my dad. Lin Beifong is my dad, Tonrok is my dad, Tenzin is my dad, Kaya is Bumi's my dad, Mako's my mom. Shiori tells Tatsuya's dad about the rumors, including that anyone with the Seven Sisters emblem would be safe from Joker. Shiori tells him if he's interested in checking this out himself, he can go to the bar Parabellum, where they have weapons and things like this for sale, just like the rumors say. Shiori tells him that Katsuya doesn't know that Tatsuya is going after Joker. She tells him Katsuya is working with Maya Amano to track down Joker. She also tells him that Tatsuya is riding solo because he doesn't want to involve his friends. He believes it's his fault that things are the way they are and that he must atone for his mistakes by fixing things. Tatsuya's dad asks about his friend Togashi, who we know from Eternal Punishment goes by the alibi Sneak, and she tells him he's still connected to Minister Tatsuzo Pseudo, Tatsuya Pseudo's father. Shiori tells Tatsuya's dad that Tatsuya will need their help if he's going to accomplish his goal. She asks him to let Tatsuya do what he needs to do and not intervene, which would be hard to hear for a dad. He agrees though reluctantly and says he'll let his wife know. Imagine having to tell your wife that one. Honey, our baby boy is in fact not missing or going through his rebellious stage or watching a bunch of hentai, whatever it is these kids are doing these days. He's actually on his way to battle an evil samurai god, which our corrupt government has began to worship and utilize to bring about the end of the daggum world. Tatsuya's mom at this point is now just playing a game of, is he describing an ayahuasca trip or the plot of an early Persona game? We'll never know. She's also probably just glad that it's not fucking Bolantiku thought forms or whatever bullshit they were on in Innocent Sin. Shiori and Tatsuya's dad notice some kids nearby talking about how the blimp at the Aerospace Museum is flying. Shiori feels like Tatsuya's probably flying the blimp, and she's right. There he is. There he goes. And actually, Tatsuya did have about 10 beers right before flying this blimp, which is somehow still less dangerous than if they let Maya drive. If you're watching this and you think it might be a good idea to house 10 to 11 beers tonight and then pilot your local blimp, don't do that. Don't try that. Tatsuya then returns to Shiori's house. It's around 4 p.m., so she's still at work, but Tatsuya in this game is literally your unemployed friend at 2 p.m. on a Thursday. He's flying blimps after 12 beers, he's fighting his demons at the club, and taking showers fully clothed. That last one, actually none of those was a joke, but he literally is in the shower right now with his clothes on, recapping his interdimensional run-ins with his interdimensional pals. Which, making it all make a bit more sense from the perspective of our gang during the course of Eternal Punishment, why he saved Anna at Seven Sisters High School from Joker and took that opportunity to give Maya a Seven Sisters emblem, which we know she torches like an absolute legend because she Ulala and her boys are tracking down Joker themselves. Tatsuya and the gang defeat Pseudo on the blimp, but Tatsuya is still concerned that they would be targeting people like June and Anna and turning them into Jokers. Tatsuya thinks about the events that led up to this moment. He thinks about the differences between this world and the other side. He looks at the mark on his arm given to him because he was unwilling to let go of his memories on the other side. And in the other room, someone calls Shiori's home phone and leaves the message to contact Sergeant Katsuya Suo. Tatsuya hears this and heads into her room, turning on the TV and flipping through the channels, but stops when he sees a fortune teller doing Wanglong fortunes. We know from Eternal Punishment that this was a vessel for spreading rumors for the bad guys, and Tatsuya feels off about this. His feelings are confirmed when she spreads the rumor that people using the Joker curse will then become Jokers themselves, and Tatsuya realizes the phone call to Shiori's home was really a covert warning that she soon would become a Joker as a result of this rumor. Tatsuya calls Shiori, but she doesn't pick up. Tatsuya is hot on the trail of his interdimensional buddies. He's deep in Nanjo Corporation's facility, finding busted up and beat up guards with coins embedded in them, which can only be the work of one interdimensional Discord daddy. That's Baofu. He's got exactly 2 things on his resume: certified killer and Discord mod. He's off 1.5 Monster Energy drinks, chopping down trees in the forest with those JFK 50-cent coins that your grandpa thought would be worth something one day. Tatsuya states that Maya and his brother are probably ahead of them and that it's been about 2 days since he left Shiori's house. Tatsuya finds Akichi, who is so surprised to see them that he does the Looney Tunes Auga eyeballs. And then they do the "What are you doing here, man? No, what are you doing here? Oh, what are you doing here?" And Akichi is just cooling with these Joker victims, trying to take them to Nanjo to help him out, while Tatsuya questions him about where Maya is, and Akichi tells him he's looking for Sugimoto, and that they're doing experiments on the Joker victims. Tatsuya is aware of Nanjo because in Innocent Sin he ran around with Coolest magazine photographer Yukino Mayazumi, who is a character from Persona 1 who went to high school and fought demons with Nanjo, also from Persona 1. Tatsuya escorts Akichi to the parking lot with his Joker victims, shoots on some guys with guns, and then heads back in. Tatsuya is about to leave, but Akichi catches him, asking how he already knew his name. Tatsuya tries to play it off, saying that everyone knows the undie boss of Cuss High School, to which Akichi has no idea what he's talking about. But his reaction to being called undie boss, even in another dimension, is, it's kind of familiar, but it also kind of pisses me off. Tatsuya ends the conversation to avoid making any more slip-ups and heads back inside. He fucks some more guards on the way and interrogates one on the whereabouts of Shiori. Tatsuya also faces down a giant war robot similar to the ones he fought as the Order of the Holy Lance in Innocent Sin. After taking the robot down, Tatsuya interrogates another guard, learning about Foreign Minister Tatsuzo's connection in all of this. A lot of loose-lipped guards in this facility is all I gotta say, where Tatsuya is rolling dangerously well with these intimidation checks. Further in, Shadow the Hedgehog finds the computer room, the laboratory where they're doing experiments on shadows or demons. Just as Tatsuya is about to Joel Last of Us these researchers to death, he feels a dark voice call to him from his mark. And the voice tells him to, alright, look, I know that here and now in this moment my credibility might be coming into question. And you guys are not gonna believe this when I tell you that I'm not making a Star Wars joke. There's no Star Wars joke here. I am reading verbatim. The dark voice tells Tatsuya to do it. Do it. Okay, that was a Star Wars joke. Okay, you got me there. Tatsuya though resists the dark voice. It's not that funny of a joke, okay, dark voice. It's already been done before. It's been done too many times. And he goes over to inspect the demon. We then realize that this insane purple orangutan is actually Shiori transformed into a demon via the Joker curse. Tatsuya is then forced to battle Shiori. After the fight, he uses the sedation from the lab to put Shiori to sleep, and fun fact, the sedation they're using is only going to work on Shiori for about 2 to 3 hours, when it normally puts an African elephant, okay, the largest land animal, okay, down for 3 days. It will put an African elephant down for 3 days. 2 to 3 hours? What? Tatsuya learns that a man named Kandori is at the center of this, and the technology they have is fueling the rumor machine. Meanwhile, Akichi's being held at gunpoint, and Tatsuya, Mr. Bean, fucking Inspector Clouseau, busts the door open at the exact perfect moment to deflect the bullet. And my friends at home, to understand a little bit better the storytelling of Tatsuya's scenario, those last 3 sentences that I just said, There were like 40,000 monologue paragraphs in between. The Tatsuya scenario should not be called the Tatsuya scenario. It should actually be called the Tatsuya 500,000 word AO3 fanfic about how Tatsuya is just that guy. This prequel, midquel, whatever you want to call it, will have you thinking that Jason Bourne was cosplaying as Tatsuya Suo. Tatsuya rolls out, sword drawn, blocking bullets in slow motion like he's Gal Gadot and this is his personal World War I. He kicks Akechi to safety and faces Kandori. Tatsuya distracts Kandori and allows Maya and the gang to escape. Kandori recognizes Tatsuya as the Paradox and informs him that neither he nor the others could escape their fate even if they wanted to or tried their darndest. Tatsuya tries to finish him off, but Kandori shadow steps his ass. Tatsuya demands to know how to turn Shiori back to normal, but Kandori gives him some kind of weird-ass explanation about being able to handle all her contradictions at once and finding a place to put her back together. And Tatsuya's just like, I can fix her, dude. Tatsuya returns to Shiori to also find Akechi waiting. Tatsuya asks Akechi not to tell Maya about their meeting or anything that happened, and Akechi senses that he's serious and agrees. Tatsuya looks at Shiori and figures that the only person who could help her now was good old Igor. And that is the end of Act 2. The final act in the Tatsuya scenario is Act 3, Gone Without a Trace. This takes part during the end of the game and shows Tatsuya's journey alongside the main protagonist of the game. We're immediately taken to the Velvet Room where Igor tells Tatsuya he's not sure he knows how to save Shiori. He tells him he can return the demon to the collective unconscious, but doesn't know if he can pull Shiori back. Igor states that unlike the Joker victims, her consciousness had been completely severed from her body. He explains that her ego and psyche were spread across the Kandat Mandala, which is a level below Philemon, Nyarlathotep, and the collective unconscious. He also tells Tatsuya that personas come from the Kandat Mandala. And then Igor says, and this is a direct word for word, bar for bar quote, okay? Prepare your anuses, okay? If I said it was the place where the images of legends of gods within everyone dwells, would that be easier to understand? No. No, it wouldn't. At this point, I feel like I'm watching a Fear and Hunger lore video. Like, Igor, babe, what are we talking about? Igor then mentions that long ago, Persona users could go to that land, the dreamlands where Personas originate. Tatsuya demands to be able to go there, kind of like Hercules did when he went to the swirling soul toilet bowl to save Meg. But Igor informs him that to be able to get to that level and reconnect Shiori to all of her attributes that make her a human being with emotions and motivations, that he must go through the crawling chaos Nyarlathotep to get there. Igor also explains that Philemon's power is waning, and this ability to reconnect someone to their essence, similar to what Naoya and Maki had to do to piece Maki back together in Persona 1, just isn't possible with Philemon in his diminished state. Tatsuya knows the risks of dealing with the crawling chaos, and instead asks if it's possible to do it on your own. To which Igor says, yeah, actually, it is possible if you train under someone knowledgeable, like, I don't know, maybe Maki Sonomura from Persona 1. This game is like Space Jam for Persona nerds. Oh my god, it's Michael Maki Jordan and Tatsuya Bugs Bunny doing fat dunks together? I'm gonna pass out. Igor says Maki is halfway to Kandat herself and that she could probably teach him a thing or two. But that would take quite a bit of time, and time is not something that Shiori has right now. Igor tells them that one human being has the ultimate key to open the gate that divides the waking and dreaming worlds. And then Igor reveals to everyone that this has actually been a podcast the entire time. Welcome back everyone to the Velvet Room. I'm your host Igor, and today we have a very special guest here for you. He's here to talk about the ultimate key to the dreaming and waking worlds and his weird butt rash that just will not go away. We've got legendary Persona user Swami Chandraputra. Everyone give it up. Big round of applause. Here he comes. He's coming in. Come on in, Chandraputra. And then Igor, like all good, accomplished podcasters, summons his podcast guest from the ether. Sit wherever you'd like, or you're gonna stand. Okay, that's cool too. But before he does that, he tells Tatsuya that if he fucks up in Kandat, the demon he's trying to exorcise might reverse possess him back. And then he tells them that, actually his podcast guest is a little busy, so give him a minute, okay? Being a legendary Persona user is a really demanding gig, okay? We'll be back after this commercial break with Swami Chandraputra. After multiple days of commercial breaks, we're back to the present day, where the whole gang and Mr. Swami Chandraputra are all gathered to bring our girl back to her old monologuing self. Mr. Chandraputra is awesome, and he speaks in all caps like a 54-year-old corporate man struggling to send an email. Sharon, how do I make the letters go small? And can you tell me how in the hell I'm supposed to convert this to a goddamn PDF? Mr. Chandraputra tells them that though they're just meeting, he already knows their quest. And then he makes you do a fun little button mashing minigame like Onin from Jak 2. Okay, no, he doesn't actually really do that, although it would have been really fun. I just think that video game mystics really just need to give me more floating, shiny triangles and circles that I can click on real fast. But Chandraputra is going to help Tatsuya, shiny triangles or no. He tells Tatsuya though that while he's down there, he needs him to recover a piece of one of Chandraputra's pupils, Randolph Carter. Maya nods in agreement, understanding the mission as well. Swami Chandraputra opens the gate to Cadet, mentioning that on the other side he will have a guide waiting for them, and Maya and the gang head through. Some of these sentences sound like Big Bang Theory sound bites where they're trying to make something sound like super duper nerdy. But it's just the plot of this game. Like it's just the names of this game. They then arrive in a Philemon-esque tower, but with a little cat guy where Philemon should be, which is kind of a pretty sick upgrade if you ask me. The cute little cat guy greets them like a sweet little kitty sergeant, and Katsuya is absolutely for this. Like this is Katsuya core. To a T. Only thing that would make this more Katsuya core is if you were baking a fresh batch of cake pops or something. But Balfu knows the truth and senses that this little cat guy is a big deal. And he's correct, of course, because this cat is Lieutenant General Zula of the Ulthar Cat Army. But once again, these are just the names of the characters. I'm not coming up with these elaborate Big Bang Theory soundbite-esque fucking bazinga-ass names, okay? Cat Lieutenant General Zula tells them that he knows of their situation and will act as their guide. Then he says, in salute in the chat if y'all know what I'm talking about. And Katsuya, of course, dutifully throws up a big fat salute because he has taste and he is a refined gentleman. Cat Lieutenant General Zula briefly informs him of the politics of this strange plane. His guys are at war with some guys called the Zoog, but then says that none of that really matters, and then he and Katsuya salute each other again. Tatsuya just wants to get down to business. He's tired of kitty war politics and he wants to find Shiori's psyche. Lieutenant General Zula tells them that they have to find all 11 of Shiori's personality horcruxes called, and I'm not making this part up, I swear, trapezohedrons, which is actually kind of sick. Really just a much better name than Horcrux, to be honest. Lieutenant Cat General Zula then tells the gang that in order to get these trapezohedrons, they have to fight 11 incredibly powerful demons that are holding these trapezohedrons hostage. Speaking of the powerful demon guys, anyway, one is here now. Good luck, guys. The team dispatched the demon, but Lieutenant General Zula says that they have obtained the knowledge trapezohedron. However, they will have to fight that demon again on the way back out because that demon exists as the boundary between this world and the other worlds. And he takes his job seriously. Depending on which dialogue choice you select for the next trapezohedron, you'll either get a lecture from some guy called the Great One about their true selves and all that good stuff, or have to battle him to the death to get the trapezotomy of reason. Voiceover Courtney is back, baby! Guess which little gamer was bad at reading the script and didn't record an entire trapezectomy fight? It was me. The next trapezectomy after the reason trapezotomy is the perseverance trapezohedron, and the gang get it from this Power Rangers ass looking guy named Sakya. Lieutenant Cat General Zula tells us that this cat is the awakened one, Sakya, who founded Buddhism, known to us Westerners as one Siddhartha Gautama. Since Sakya, or Buddha, is the enlightened one, the question posed to the group involves the definition of the self, to which the characters can either choose to define as an irreplaceable treasure or an adversary holding them back. If you end up choosing adversary, Sakuya will tell you that yes, it can be a prison if you let yourself fall victim to egotism. Our world is ever changing, and to latch on to a certain identity might prevent you from moving forward, learning something new, and potentially becoming something greater. This answer will grant you the perseverance trapezotomy. If you answer otherwise, however, you're gonna have to get that bad boy the hard way. The next trapezotomy is the drive trapezotomy, which comes from Vin Diesel, and they have to successfully do a drift donut in order to unlock it. It's actually just this really horny demon guy, and they gotta beat him up. And this demon guy is such a hornmeister that even Lieutenant CAD General Zula just says that this guy just wants to and Azazel, the demon in question, says that he's totally cool to hand over his trapezotomy if the team gives him one of their ladies. To which the guys immediately turn to Ulala, and she is, not really wanting the Baldur's Gate 3 this demon in the name of rescuing Shiori. Now this guy, Azazel's got some, strange and quite frankly uncomfortable takes on women and beauty standards that I just really don't have the time to get into, and neither do our friends. They womp the shit out of this weirdo, as they should, and take yet another trapeze right off of him. Maya and Ulala, out of curiosity, take a look into Shiori's drive trapezoid and see that she wants to bring her baby brother back or avenge him and honor his memory at least. And it seems, by the looks of it, that she had some complicated feelings when it came to Tatsuya, which kind of makes sense for her. I mean, he's only alive because her brother died in this dimension, but he's also working with her to prevent the end of the world. And he's got that edgy Shadow the Hedgehog vibe. The gang head to the next tower. Baofu smokes a cig, and they now face Izanami, the wife of Izanagi and legendary Japanese queen of Yomi. The legend goes that Izanagi and Izanami founded the country, then Izanami died during the birth of their child. She didn't want Izanagi to see her all, rotted and gross and dead-like, but he's her husband, so he goes to see her anyway. At this point, he then looks upon her, and she subsequently sends a bunch of ogres after him, closes the door to the underworld, and curses him such that 1,000 of the people that he reigns over will die every year. Izanagi, as retaliation, then vows to only listen to divorced dad rock, and also says that he will ensure that 1,500 people are born every year under his reign, even if he's gotta birth him himself, by God. Katsuya also mentions that Izanagi beheads the son that Izanami died giving birth to. What? Yu Narukami is this your man? Before the fight, if Maya chooses to say that Izanami wears her mask to hide her rotted face because she still cares for Izanagi after everything, then you get the emotion trapezehedronectomy, and you leave the Tower of Emotion and head for the next tower, which is the Tower of Ethics, where this guy hanging out here has been counting down the days since he saw his good old buddy Randolph Carter. Anyways, in the Tower of Cosmic Gamer Rage, we are then met with Angra Mainyu, and Mainyu will not believe this. You answer a question here, and if you get it wrong, then Demon Mayim Bialik, host of Underworld Jeopardy, gets to fucking kill you. But if you tell Demon Mayim Bialik, host of Underworld Jeopardy, that absolute good does exist, then he rewards you with the Shining Trapeze Artist of Ethics, which is kind of a fun one to get from the God of Evil. A lot of the time in stories like this, it's oftentimes the evil guys that are really focused on debating the nitty-gritty of ethics. And I think they generally end up caring more about, what's good and what's evil, because a lot of the time they're trying to find some way, some secret, minute byline in the ancient codex of ethics and morals that allows them to get away with what they're doing or justify what they're doing to themselves. Also, the battle zones for these fights are just so fucking tight. Like, it looks like the goddamn Tokyo Team Labs museum with the insane floor. Like, should I Should I take my little shoesies off? Are we gonna walk into the water? But then the protagonist face down sexy little sarcophagus Cyclops guy who Cat Lieutenant General Zula then informs us is actually an elder god named Nodens, who is the avatar of Philemon and Lord of the Great Abyss. Nodens holds the trapezotomy of memory and says that memory is the foundation of everything around them. It shapes Kadat and the collective unconsciousness and forms the next generation as well. Memory can cause pain, but at the end of the day, it is essential for life. If you and your merry band decide that life has meaning, then you will earn the memory trapezectomy and your group will then be able to continue on their merry way. But interestingly enough, if you choose the other option that life has no meaning, it will also grant you the memory trapezectomy. I love this bit because it kind of ties everything together. A lot of themes in Persona deal with perception, willpower, choice, and ethics, and my interpretation of either choice being the quote-unquote correct option here is that really you're free to believe either of those is true. And Balfu kind of says something along the lines of this in the game himself, but I think it's really interesting because it implies that you get to choose whether you're alive for a reason or whether there's no reason that people are alive, and I think that choice of what you choose to believe in often ends up biasing your life towards the option you selected. Anyways, next up is this goopy weirdo. Cat Lieutenant General Zula says that this creature was a part of the human race at one point in time, and the group can either choose to give the creature the benefit of the doubt rather than fearing it or distrusting it just because it looks foreign to them, or they can kill it. I don't know. Maya has a can of crab in her purse as she offers the critter, and Balfu is astonished that Maya is just packing around crab meat on a daily basis. It's her lunch, dude. Come on, she's on the grind 24/7. She ain't got time for a daggum bento. For your crab meat, you then earn the wisdom trapezododecahedron. If you choose to fight the old one, he says some dots and dashes that look like Morse code, but when I diligently entered this into a Morse code translator like a curious little noodle, nothing popped up for me. So if you do know how to read Morse code and this stuff here actually says something, please let me know in the comments. Thank you. If it's not Morse code, however, and you happen to speak alien, also, please let me know. Also, that's cool. After dispatching the goopy goopster, the team is then faced with the next demon, Aquaman's ugly step-uncle, twice removed from the ocean, but then thrown back into the ocean. And he has the trapezectomy of perception, and you must battle the shit out of him to get it back. The gray old one is next, and he's looking extra spooky dooky. After you fuck that weird squid man, you then get the Tropenus butthole of will. Next up is Gargoyle from the hit Disney animated series Gargoyles. And Cat Lieutenant General Zula regards Maya and Tatsuya, telling them that they should know what this creature is. And ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, prepare yourself for the main event, okay? We've sold you the whole seat, but daggone it, you are only gonna need the edge. In this corner, we have the inevitable, the indomitable, the inescapable creepy critter from the depths of everyone's nightmare. Here he is, the crawling chaos. He's fucking cheeked up though, I gotta give that to him at least, good lord. Shiori then appears behind Maya with the Spear of Justice. Just kidding, it's the Spear of Longinus, the Evangelion spear from the previous game that Maya Okamura used to kill Maya Amano at the very end of the game. Except this time, Tatsuya pushes her out of the way, saving her. Shadow Shiori wants Tatsuya to step down and be her little brother, wishing she had Takia back. She blames Tatsuya and Maya for what happened to her brother and states that he'd still be with her if not for them. The Crawling Chaos then asks Tatsuya to make an impossible decision, Shiori or Maya. Tatsuya then drops to the ground in pain, clutching his Sasuke Uchiha core curse mark. Shiori then drops the spear and rushes over to Tatsuya. Maya then stands in the way of the monster, blocking it from Shiori and Tatsuya. Balfu and the fucking gang then work together with Maya to womp the shit out of this fat ass having demon nightmare guy. It takes a bit, but the team are able to take him down in the end. He leaves them with a final message. message: to find him and face him in his full power in the waking world as soon as possible, and not as this little Gargoyles animated series Avatar Man. The crawling chaos's avatar then leaves behind the emotion trapezohedron of Randolph Carter, and he disappears. Hold your high fives in chat though, gamers, because it's not over quite yet. Maya and the gang then turn to see Tatsuya strangling Shiori. Shiori apologizes, and her face looks like more of it is cracked and fallen away to reveal darkness underneath. Katsuya grabs Tatsuya to stop him, and Tatsuya snaps back to his regular self. Shiori's body then transforms to reveal the trapezohedron of reflection. Christ. Oh, Katniss and Peter Mockingjay moment right there. Hell. Did y'all watch that new Hunger Games movie? Shit was long, wasn't it? Like, they finished the Hunger Games, and I was like, the movie's still going? Corey Anus and his friend also named Anus? Like, it's still going? Holy shit, bro. I'm in the trees. I'm in the trees. What's funny, though, is I thought that movie was, like, long as f***, but then H. Bomberman drops his 4-hour video about YouTube plagiarism, and I'm like, hanging on every word. Corey Anus enters hour 2, and I'm like, dude, we gotta get this guy to be the president or something. It's too long. Anyways, Tatsuya grabs the trapezohedron and falls to his knees, apologizing to Shiori. Fortunately, though, for them, the trapezohedron was fine, and they have now collected every piece of Shiori's psyche. The ultimate gate then reopens for them, and Swami Chandraputra appears once more to take them home. Lieutenant Cat General Zula then calls Swami Chandraputra Randolph Carter, and the Swami reveals to them that he, in fact, was Randolph Carter the whole time. Carter reveals that he didn't want to reveal to them his true form, as he had been possessed by a persona during his quest through the collective unconscious. Carter thanks them for helping return him to his normal self, and sends them back to the waking world, where we join Anna and Shiori in the Nanjo Memorial Hospital several days later. Shiori wakes disoriented and asks Anna where she is. Anna tells her that she's been taken by Katsuya and the others to the hospital, where she's been in a coma. Shiori asks Anna why she's here, and Anna explains that she was here visiting her classmate Noriko, who is also helped by Maya and the gang. Shiori asks about Tatsuya, and Anna looks out the window. Anna finally simply states that they can probably never meet the Tatsuya as they knew him ever again. And Shiori realizes after a bit that everything wasn't a dream after all. Shiori then stares at the ceiling, letting her tears fall. She apologizes to Tatsuya and thanks him for everything. And that is the end of Act 3, Gone Without a Chase, the final act of the 3-part Tatsuya scenario. Finally, we're taken back to the Velvet Room, where Igor congratulates Maya for the victory, but warns her that that was just a preliminary encounter. The true final battle still awaits them at the end of Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. In terms of what role Tatsuya's scenario fulfills for the Persona series, you can think of it as kind of like a Lion King 1.5 for Eternal Punishment, but if you combine that Lion King 1.5 idea with some Star Wars extended lore, where we're given the inside scoop on a lot of the interworkings of Persona and demons and Philemon and the collective unconscious. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, you can watch another video if you want. For now, this is it for me, but next up I'll be seeing you guys in Persona 3 Fest, so get ready for that. I know I am very excited for this one. Bye now. Goodbye. See ya.